Blue Atheist. The reason I am atheist is that I don't believe in God because I haven't seen any evidence to convince me there is a God. I don't make the claim that there's no God. I just haven't seen any evidence to convince me there is one. Now, I do go to an evangelical church each week because my son goes there and I want to see what he's learning and being taught. And last week, a pastor named Mark said that his proof that Noah's Ark was a real story was the Portland Zoo. And I wanted to look at that and see how that lines up with being proof, how the Portland Zoo would line up with the Ark. First, let's do some critical thinking. An all-knowing God. How does an all-knowing God regret, as the Bible says, what happened with everybody being bad, supposedly, or sinners? He made everybody, created everybody, according to Christianity, and he knew what was going to happen and what they would do, and I don't understand how he can regret it or get angry when he already knew what was going to happen. But that aside, let's look at the Portland Zoo versus the Ark and the species. The Portland Zoo has 200 species of animals. The Earth has 10.3 million species on it. So that would mean the Portland Zoo has 0.001942% of the species in the world. And they employ 300 full-time workers. They didn't tell me the number, but a lot of part-time workers, and depend on seasonal workers and volunteers a lot to take care of the animals, what I call micro ecosystems that they can live in, that survive in and need. They have removing waste, feeding, and taking care of these systems. There is a ton of waste that has to be removed each week, and there's a lot of food and supplies that are shipped in each week. They have big walk-in freezers and walk-in refrigerators to keep food that they need to feed these animals, something that you didn't have in the Noah's time, of course. And they have trees and plants, and the right plants and trees and other things for the herbivores. And so it would be, this picture just above me is supposed to be the actual size of the Ark. And I can tell you, even though it looks like a big boat, it's quite a bit smaller than the Portland Zoo. And it's common sense to realize that 8 people could not fit and take care of, fit 10.3 million species, take care of them, get rid of waste, feed them, somehow keep food from going bad. Of course, you start getting into the predators and prey, the carnivores eating each other, the herbivores needing the right plants and trees for the herbivores, and all of that. I mean, it just becomes ridiculous to think that it was even possible. Where did all the water come from? We have a certain amount of water on the planet. It's called the water cycle. You have water evaporate from mostly the oceans, and cloud formation. Clouds can move in over land or wherever, and then they will get heavy enough and it will start to rain, the water will come down, it'll reach rivers, lakes, whatever. Most of it actually ends up back in the ocean, but it's a water cycle. We don't have any more or less. A net gain or loss of water is zero. And so where did all the water come from in the first place? And how did it all go away when the time was up, when the year was up? Also, I'm not going to get too scientific because this common sense is all it takes to realize this is a false story. But if you go to something like Answers in Genesis, they say that during this year, all of the nuclear decay happened extremely fast in 1 year, all of it from 4.5 billion years back, and all the continents drifted away from each other during this time. And I'll just tell you, without getting into the details, that if that happened, the Earth would be way hotter than 10 suns. It would disintegrate and wouldn't be here anymore. So that's just a ridiculous statement, a ridiculous claim. Then you have to look at, if you have an all-powering God, why did he kill every person in the world? That includes innocent children, babies, pregnant women, whose babies, couldn't have been sinners or whatever. All the innocent animals. I mean, it would take a monster to do that. And if he's all powering, why didn't he just take care of the people that weren't worshiping him or whatever was making him mad? Which he shouldn't have been mad, because he shouldn't have had regret that made him mad, because he already knew what was happening. So the whole story doesn't make any sense, other than if it was true, your God is truly a monster. And this is just one of the stories that show that. But I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.